All right. Oh, so much better.
Testing, 1, 2, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Got O pressures up. We got engine leaned out, RPMs. 1200 to 1000 is good. We tested the emitter already. We got the flaps up, set to retract. Okay, pre-taxi checklist, am I ready? Avionics are on. Make sure any additional avionics are on. I'll have to enter on that a couple times. Intercom test. Radios. As this pops up, we'll do that. We'll go ahead and put in our ATIS, which is 120.3 is already there. Oh, what that sound is, but and we can go ahead and listen. That's ground. Let's see.
And ground, Archer 8342 November. We can take an intersection if you're able.
Check 4 November, Roger. Taxi runway 35 right, Alpha 16, intersection departure.
35 right, be Alpha 16, be
Yeah,
Alpha 14 November.
B10, P clouds 2000, P clouds 2000, 2000 scatter, temperature 21, check density altitude, dew point 14, altimeter 3007. Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runway 25 right, runway 35 left, runway 10, runway 28. Notice determined, use caution, hazardous weather information for Colorado available for flight service. VFR departures advised ground control, duration of flight. All departures advised ground control when your run-up is complete. Remaining on ground control, frequency to advise, advisors contact information Delta. Until airport information, Delta 1453 Zulu, wind 340 with 5, visibility 10, P clouds 2000, P clouds 2000, 2000 scatter, temperature 21, check density altitude, dew point 14, altimeter 3007. Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runway 25 right, runway 35 left, runway 10, runway 28. Notice determined, use caution, hazardous weather information for Colorado available for flight service. VFR departures advised ground control, direction of flight. All departures advised ground control, when your run-up is complete. Remaining on ground control, frequency to advise, advisors contact information Delta.
Looking for full stop taxi back.
Until airport information, Delta 1453 Zulu, wind 340 with 5, visibility 10, P clouds 2000, P clouds 2000.
Centellian Tower, Warrior 43181,
check density altitude, dew point 14, altimeter 3007. Cherokee 4311, clear and departing, runway 25 right,
4381, going to ramp.
runway 10, runway 28. Notice determined, use caution, hazardous weather information for Colorado available for flight service.
Sentinel ground, Sky 1838 Echo.
All right.
North run-up area, run-up complete with information Delta, looking for full stop taxi back.
Am I ready? R is the radios, so we got our comms, this is our ground frequency set, towers in the backup. ATIS is here, we just listened to the ATIS.
Yep.
E is enter the altitude setting in the Colesman window, which is 3007. So we got that, right, and that's, we're 5885 is our field elevation, so that's about right. A is altitude encoding for the transponder, and that is already on altitude encoding at 1200, so we're good there. B, directional gyro, that is this guy. So we cross-check mag
Microphone check for 38 Echo.
41, that's 341, so that's good. That's our heading bug there. Okay, and then I
Taxi diagram.
spec taxi diagram, so I can anticipate where we'll probably go, but alright, so this handy thing shows us where we are. So it said departing runways 10 or 28, so we can go this closest one, which is what I'm going to try to go for. Or 35 right and 35 left, which I think I want to avoid because that's a long taxi. Now the wind.
Centennial ground, track 1838 Echo.
System 183 Echo, to the ground.
40 at 5.
Yeah, 183 Echo, we're north run-up area. Run-up is complete.
So the wind
We've got
is coming.
information. We got current information, looking for full stop, taxi back.
Nothing is taken off with a
verify information Delta,
downwind is not
35 right,
good.
taxi via Alpha.
We have Delta and 17 left via Alpha, or 35 right via Alpha.
I may end up just having to go this way, just because the winds don't favor this, and they
Unless
like you to do the run up here.
Yeah.
So,
this way.
what's that?
Unless you took off this way.
I could. The way they do the run up is you taxi to this place, you do your engine run up, and then you contact them.
Okay.
I suppose I could taxi that way, but I'm just going to stick with their standard procedure. So the red stuff are the hot spots. So this is where you got to be careful with traffic. That's the main thing with runway incursion avoidance, is making sure you don't hit anyone and then keeping your eyes open. All right, so we're ready for our, actually we don't have to make an initial radio call here because that's just how normally you would, but because we're not in, tower can't see us, they expect us to just taxi out to this spot, and then we'll do our run up and we'll contact the ground. Okay, so am I ready? Taxi checklist is complete. Am I good there?
Yep.
All right, so taxi checklist is taxi slow. So T is for test, and
nope.
First thing we're gonna do.
That's not correct. Take off parking brake.
Take off parking brake. Take off parking brake is off, and then as we go, we're gonna test brakes. My brakes are good. Go ahead and push the tops of your brake pedals. All right, your brakes are good. And then we're going to test some instruments as we go, starting with the A's. So airspeed, altimeter, and attitude indicator are all level or 0. We don't expect to see any readings. This shouldn't be banking when we turn because we're just yawing. So we'll check that when we turn. I'll go this way. So as we turn, all right, that's level. Ball is opposite direction of turn. Plane banks in the direction of turn, so that's a cross check. That's good.
Centennial ground, Diamond Star, 333 Whiskey Foxtrot.
So that's east,
Charlie 1
turning towards south. We see it moving towards south. Here it's also moving towards south.
Star 333
So
Whiskey
we know our
Foxtrot to the
compasses
ground,
are
135 right,
indicating
taxi
what we
via Alpha.
expect.
35 right, taxi via Alpha, Diamond Star 333 Whiskey Foxtrot.
And then crosswind control input. So the winds are out of the
Centennial ground,
northwest.
Scott 1731 Echo, 31 Sierra.
And the rule with crosswind,
looking at taxi
with control input on the ground is you want to
1731 Sierra to the ground, 135 right, taxi via Alpha.
turn into and dive away. The idea is to minimize the chance that the wind could get under your wing and, tip you up. So we're going to be taxiing into the crosswind here in a second. All right, so part of incursion avoidance, we're looking around, making sure we're clear of everyone. Okay, we're all clear. We got a bunch of guys up in front of us. So the winds are like out of there. So we want to turn into, so put in a bit of right aileron if we're going into it. If the winds were behind us, like at the 4 o'clock position, we would dive away, so it'd be opposite and forward on the elevator. And then the S is sterile cockpit and slow, so we'll maintain sterile cockpit discipline, only talk when we need to. They say you're supposed to taxi about a brisk walk.
Ground, Skyhawk
it's definitely faster than a brisk walk, but it's
Alpha 13
it's a
to
reasonable
Alpha
speed.
ramp.
2225
I'm adjusting the power to,
Position 25 Echo.
so I'm not riding the brakes. Even then, it can be hard to taxi slow enough without riding the brakes. All right, so these guys are all lined up doing their engine run-ups. All right, so our taxi checklist is complete. Are we good?
Yes.
Is anything? Okay. The ground checklist is going to be cigars. Smoke your cigars before you take off. And we're going to do that one right up here next to this Civil Air Patrol plane. When you're doing a run-up, you generally want to be pointing into the wind, which we will be in this case. You're sitting slow. The engine's not getting its fuel.
Number 51, Julia Tango.
Let's take 5-1, Julia Tango,
so
center ground.
Yes, sir, area hotel, Wolf Delta, VFR Southwest.
Alright.
We do require a runoff.
Let's take 5-1, Julia Tango, roger, hold short of taxiway Alpha, expect
Alright, C
35
is
right.
controls. We want to make sure they're free and correct, so we have full range of motion.
Alpha, we'll expect 35 right.
Top thumb to the up aileron, so looking at the left aileron, it's pointed up. There are stories of people crashing because their controls are rigged wrong and they didn't check.
Technically, Alpha, the ramp
and then back, you see the elevator is pitched up. And then at its full range of motion, I want to go all the way through to make sure it's not going to hit. So my iPad generally gets close. So we're good there. And then over here, top thumb to the top aileron, so we're good there. So we know controls are good. Instruments. So we got our altimeter set at 3007. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and plug in.
329er Papa at Alpha 8, runway 35 right. We're taxiing to hotel.
329er Papa, center ground.
VOR.
Taxi around, 29 Papa.
That's 25 Echo, expedite your taxi.
Expedite taxi, so Echo.
Centennial ground, Skylane 5788 Juliet, Alpha 9, taxi self-service.
Since 5788 Juliet, center ground, taxi self-serve via Alpha.
Self-serve via Alpha.
Okay.
That's the 3 Echo, monitor tower 1.9er.
Monitor tower, 3 Echo.
Diamond Star 3 Whiskey Foxtrot, monitor tower 1.9er.
Initial heading's going to be
Monitor tower, Diamond
157.
Star 3 Whiskey Foxtrot.
I'm going to set this to what our initial heading's going to be. That's our heading bug. All right, and good for instruments. All right, gas. B is gas on both.
Centennial ground, Warrior 9285 Mike. Charlie 1, running 3 touch and goes with Delta.
A is attitude. So trim set for takeoff, and we'll do a normal takeoff with flaps up. And R is for run up. So we're going to run up. Run up to 1800 RPM. Check a few things. So I'm going to check the magnetos. Run on the left mag, we should see no more than 150 RPM drop. So that's about 100 RPM drop. And then the right mag, we should see about the same, no more than 50 RPM difference. So that's good. Back to both. We check our engine instruments, cylinder head temperature's in the green, oil temperature and pressure both in the green, vacuum's in the green, alternator test is good. We would check carb heat if we had carb heat. We're going to cycle the prop 3 times to get the oil going through the governor.
5306 uniform at Charlie 1.
It dropped about 1500 back up. That's one.
Departure to the east.
We'll watch the oil pressure. We should see it fluctuate because of the oil going into the governor. Yep, drops down.
At Charlie 1, run up complete.
And then manifold pressure over here is kind of how we measure power. And that should be a slight
5306 uniform, Centennial ground, runway 35 right.
very slight increase.
06 uniform, taxi via Alpha to 35 right.
Okay, that's a run up. And then the other thing is, if we're on sea level, we generally would be full rich. But at altitude, we have to lean a bit. We want to make sure we're making full power when we go to take off. So I'm going to lean this out. And it's already starting to go down, so it's probably...
9443 Lima, follow Cessna off your right.
I want to get max RPM out of this setting.
35 right taxi.
So that looks to be about
43 Lima.
About good, a little over 1800. All right, and that's the run up complete. Did I miss anything? It probably doesn't have the whole run up on here, but it would have it on there.
Monitor tower, 31
So we did mags.
3 Lima, you can call the Mustang.
Vacuum?
Yep, vacuum is good.
Amps?
Amps, oil is good. Pressure is good. Idle. And then, yeah, the idle check. So we're going to pull it all the way back, still idling, so that's good. Good sign. We like the engine to stay running.
501.
Okay, and you see the P-51 down there?
I did, yeah. I saw him come out here. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
35 right via Alpha, Katana 501.
Alright, so our ground check is complete. Did I miss anything?
Throttle friction.
Got it right here. So,
All right, then
okay.
We are ready for pre-takeoff.
All right. So next I'm going to contact ground, and information was Delta, I believe. Delta. Documents. Centennial ground, Skylane 9574 Alpha, run-up completed Charlie 1 with Delta, taxi for departure to the south.
Cessna 9574 Alpha, Centennial ground, runway 35 right, taxi via Alpha.
Skylane 9574 Alpha, 35 right via Alpha. Alright, 35 right, we're going there via this taxiway. Okay, we're gonna check around us, make sure we're clear. And make sure we don't hit this other airplane next to us.
And heads up, you got a fuel truck coming here.
Okay, thanks.
We're 85 Mike, monitor.
Monitor 85 Mike.
Okay. Alright, you want to do some taxiing?
Sure, where am I going?
Alright, so put your feet on the pedals, stay on this yellow line, and we're going to be making a left turn as we get up to this intersection here. And you can go ahead and, I'm just going to keep my hand on the throttle for now, and just focus on steering. And there's a lot of slop, so go ahead and start to slow us down with both brakes. Tap towards the top there, okay? We're double check to make sure we're clear. Alright, and then make a left turn here. Gonna put us on, we're on Alpha. I'm gonna give you a little bit of power. And then we're gonna go all the way down, follow those airplanes.
So no brakes at this point, right?
No brakes, yep. So just focus on staying on the center line. Which from where you're sitting, it's either way you sit, it's not exactly in the middle. You kind of have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. To me, this looks like the center line, but I'm.
Yeah, it's right now I'm on the center line. So that's one thing about instructing. I've done a little bit of flying from the right seat, but it is weird. It's taken me some getting used to. So
Centennial ground, Cessna 2380.
it's just a different sight picture when you've flown hundreds of hours from this position. You're used to what things look like when you're landing, and I was like my first few landings.
5306 uniform monitor.
First few landings were all jacked up. All right. All right, I'm going to slow us down even more. Go ahead and apply some brakes to get us slowed down.
Cessna 2380 Papa, pass behind the Katana, then taxi to Alpha via Alpha.
How much more brake?
Alpha via Alpha.
You can do a bit more. Just,
Papa.
you don't want to skid it, but
yeah, that's what I was worried about.
okay. All right, give them our ETA. P51 is pretty sweet. Might have to get you to take a video with my
Centennial ground, Cap 586. Charlie 1, run-up area, run-up complete with Delta, east departure.
Cap flight 586, Centennial ground, runway 35 right, taxi via Alpha.
35 right via Alpha, Cap 586.
What's that?
You just used aileron to adjust the wind.
Cessna 9443 Lima monitor.
Okay, so
Monitor tower,
they're going to
43
tell
Lima.
us when to monitor tower. All right, I'm going to do our pre-takeoff checklist since they're going to probably switch us over pretty quick. All right, our pre-takeoff checklist is active. We'll take the active runway A abort plan. I'm going to go ahead and take the controls back. I have the controls.
You have it?
I have the controls. Okay, so we do a three-phase abort plan. Phase 1, we have room, we land on the runway. Phase 2, we're out of room, out of runway to land on, and we're going to land straight ahead until we hit 1,000 feet. And we're not going to, phase 3 is when we turn back towards the runway at 1,000 feet. Generally, turning back towards the runway with an engine failure under 1,000 feet does not end well. So I'll verbally state which phase we're in as we go along. So cool. That's the abort plan. Yeah, okay, let's keep going here. Okay, C is clear, Cal, and config. So we're clear as we're clearing the area. The tower is going to tell us when to take off, but we still want to double check and make sure we're good. Cal flaps are open, and configuration is we're trim set for takeoff, and we're going to do no flaps.
No flaps.
Which is generally at high altitude you want to do short field. We have tons of runway. It's you know, fairly cool, so we'll be fine. But we'll do practice short field takeoffs. Okay, let's see, what's it? Active T, transponder is on altitude encoding. I illumination, all lights on, and our initial heading is going to be about 157, so we're going to end up heading basically kind of southeast. Verify and verbalize. So let's go ahead and do windows, doors, windows closed and locked, seat belts secure. Fuel's on both. Verbalize V speeds are full flat stall speed is, I'm going to park here so I can see. He's going to tell me when to contact tower. 36, no flat stall speeds, 43.
Centennial Airport information, echo, current altimeter 3008, temperature 21, check density altitude. System 9574 Alpha monitor.
Uniform frequency change approved, good morning.
06 uniform, copies, and good morning, thanks.
9574 Alpha Centennial, tower, fly straight out, runway 35 right, cleared for takeoff, wind 350 at 9er. And did you want to turn southeast or southwest for your south departure?
9574 Alpha is cleared for departure at 35 right, and we'd like to go southeast.
So 74 Alpha southeast on course approved then.
Southeast on course approved, 9574 Alpha.
Alright, we did verify, verbalize V speeds. We're going to be looking for 60 on the initial climb out, and then 75 after we clear 50 feet. And E examined the winds. We got winds a little bit from the right.
Engine.
And engine is leaned out. Okay, and then the lineup 35 right, we can verify we're on the right runway by looking at our compass. That's 35 right. Input crosswind controls are a little bit to the left. We go full throttle. Slowly bring it up. And we're checking engine instruments. We got RPMs in the green, everything's in the green. Airspeed's alive. And oh, there's already a 60. We're phase 1 right now for abort if we have any problems. Okay, we're up. Tap the brakes to keep the wheels from moving. I guess climb just like crazy.
Katana 501 Echo Centennial, tower, fly straight out.
And we're still phase 1.
Wind 340 at 8.
Straight out, 35 right, Katana 501 Echo.
Probably phase 2 now. We just land straight ahead if we have any problems.
01 Echo, actually cancel your takeoff instructions.
And what we're going to do is pull the power and the RPM back once we hit 500 AGL, which is going to be right about here.
2400 RPM.
Yep, 23 inches and 24. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the manifold pressure back first.
1 inch per thousand.
23, and then RPM 24.
Centennial Tower Sky, 9574 Alpha, okay for right turn now.
774 Alpha, affirmative, right on course, southeastbound approved. Have a great day.
Check right, we're clear right.
Zero 01 Echo, fly straight out, right 35 right, clear for takeoff, wind 34010, gust 15.
Clear for takeoff, straight out, 25 right.
Okay, so we're returning around to our initial heading, about 157. An eye out for other airplanes as we go. And we'll climb up to ultimately to 9,500. Class B airspace is at 8,000, so we got a little bit of room to do our climb here. Okay. All right, so we did our takeoff. We got our power set. Yeah, so as we climb, all right, so the climb speed, we're looking at about 90, which we're at 90.
Cap 586 Centennial Tower, east departure approved, runway 35 right. Cleared for takeoff, wind 3408, gust 15.
That's takeoff 35 right, Cap 5.
Okay, and we're going to increase our manifold pressure is already down to 21. We want to get it up to, we may end up full open here. We're not even at 23, and that's okay, so.
Katana 01 Echo, continue straight out, contact tower 123.7.
Straight out and 123.7, Katana 501 Echo.
5, up to 7,500. I'm going to stop our climb at 7,500 so we don't climb into the class Bravo.
Just a 74 Alpha, frequency change approved, remain outside the class Bravo airspace. Have a good day.
74 Alpha, frequency change approved, remain outside class Bravo. Thank you.
Are we now into the cruise checklist?
Not quite. We're kind of leveling off to stay outside of the class Bravo, but...
Bonanza 550 Lima, Denver approach, Denver altimeter 3006.
So now we're on Denver approach, and I'm going to ask for flight following.
Water ski 4712, contact Denver Center 128.37, good day. Gag 31 Sierra, clear direct left seat.
Clear direct left, C31 Sierra.
Denver approach Skyline 9574 Alpha, off Centennial VFR request.
What was the call sign again?
9574 Alpha.
Gag 9574 Alpha, Denver approach, Denver altimeter 3006. Go ahead with your request.
Request VFR flight following direct to Middle Lake Foxtrot Lima Yankee at 9,500. We're at Cessna 182 flying call.
Skyline 74 Alpha, squawk 0451.
0451 for Skyline 9574 Alpha.
Seven 5 Juliet Foxtrot traffic, 10 o'clock, 2.5 miles maneuvering.
Alright, so now you can see us, we have a unique squawk. The 1200 is VFR only.
Roger. Water ski 4712, Denver Center 128.37. Skyline 74 Alpha, radar contact, 6 miles southeast of Centennial Airport, show at 7,700.
Affirmative, 9574 Alpha.
5 Juliet Foxtrot, you still have that traffic in the site. It looks like they're descending through your altitude, same direction, maybe a little bit northwestbound.
So we're doing, 140 knots ground speed.
We're fighting a headwind.
25 knots airspeed. We actually got a bit of a tailwind.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Number 5 Juliet Foxtrot, turn right heading 290.
So this is
United 1119, Denver
that's
departure.
Parker Road, I think.
Yep, that's 83.
Let me give you this to follow along. This is our backup map, so you can figure out where we are.
Seven 5 Juliet Foxtrot, looks like that traffic's behind you now, and you're doing about 30 knots faster. Shouldn't be a factor.
So
5 Juliet Foxtrot, additional traffic 11 o'clock and 2.5 miles.
The magenta lines here show the practice areas.
500.
So we'll come to these practice areas on the way back, but
in 2014, contact them, Springs Approach 124.0 today.
Deviate, just so I'm not a bunch of straight through there. So these you self-report on a practice area frequency.
United 8273, contact number center 128.37, good day.
We're almost clear of the class Bravo, so they'll probably let us climb up here soon.
Number 5 Juliet Foxtrot, roger, fly heading 250.
Denver approach, Skyline 9574 Alpha, request climb to 9,500.
Skyline 74 Alpha is cleared through class Bravo as requested.
9574 Alpha, clear through the class Bravo to 9,500.
Alright.
We do establish climb about 500 feet per minute.
Yep. So there's our vertical speed. We might even do better than that. We'll see. Throttle full open.
Best climb rate's 80 knots.
Atlanta 50, maintain VFR header below 14,000, just for about 20 miles to get clear of arrival traffic into Denver, then I'll have unrestricted for you.
Okay, so one thing that maybe is not completely intuitive is people think throttle equals faster.
Throttle's altitude.
And exactly, throttle's altitude. Well, yeah, throttle's altitude and yoke is elevator is speed. So I pull up,
we go slower.
We go slower, and so 80 is best rate of climb. But since we're on a fairly slow climb, we do a cruise climb, which is a little faster. So we'll look for 90. And this is the trim tab. So why don't you go ahead and do this, and I'll talk you through it. You have the airplane. Yeah,
I have the airplane.
You have the airplane. I'll just stick that back there for you. Okay, so right now we want to keep in this this attitude and this heading. You want to keep your feet on the pedals. Basically, anytime you put in aileron input, you want to be putting in a commensurate amount of rudder input. And that keeps your nose, it keeps you coordinated. If you see the ball, it's kind of hard to see from where you are, but
yeah, you want to keep your foot on the ball, right?
On the ball, yep. So you want a little bit of right as you're climbing out here. We're at 8,500. We've got 1,000 feet to go. We're right at 90. Are you familiar with the trim?
Yep.
Trim wheel. So if you find yourself having to maintain a bit of back pressure, then you want to put a little forward. Yeah. So ideally, you trim it so that you can basically fly hands off in whatever climb attitude or level attitude.
Which I'm just not there yet.
Yep. And not a lot of landmarks out there, but. Generally, you want to keep your head outside the cockpit and just glance in to do quick cross checks. Okay, how's my speed? Looking outside. So for heading, we're a bit left of course, so we want to go about 20 degrees to the right. And ideally, you find a spot that you're aiming at. Like I can see kind of a tower on the horizon. That's probably going to put us right on course. And yeah, you're doing good. Keeping airspeed and altitude coming up to 9,500 feet to go. I'm looking at our instruments. Everything's looking green. Part of our climb checklist. We got our climb going. We've got our cow flaps up. Full throttle mixture. We're kind of leaning that back a bit as we climb because less, thinner air means we can burn less fuel, so we don't want to waste fuel going into the engine.
So we're looking for 9.5, right?
Yep.
I do notice it's hard for me to stay foot on the ball from this angle.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to see.
Right. It looks like you're off. So, you don't want to get too hung up. You want to get used to the feel of what coordinated flight is. And generally, the rudder helps, like if you just roll.
1119, contact number.
Once we get up, we'll do a little practice to see the difference. We'll wait till we level out. And one of the things, there's several factors that induce some left turning tendency when you're climbing. So that's partly why, you know, when you climb out, you're always going to have a little bit of right rudder in.
Back 1734 Sierra Denver approach, roger.
And usually when you get close, you start to push the nose over. And before you make any power adjustments, you want to kind of let the airspeed
Simon 5 Juliet Foxtrot Centennial
get to where you want.
O'clock and 7 miles.
You start to trim out for level.
Number 5 Juliet Foxtrot cleared visual approach, runway 35 right. Contact Centennial Tower 118, plane
starting to speed up here. You're probably going to need some forward trim.
Skyhawk 31 Sierra, contact Springs approach 124.0, good day.
124.0, happy forest, 31.
You too.
Okay, so
like I climbed a little bit.
Yeah, it's easy to overshoot, especially in a plane with a lot of power like this one. 172, you can pretty much, you hit the speed, push the nose over, or you hit the altitude, push the nose
Name
over.
the 6200 Victor Denver approach, yep.
But yeah, just keep working in some forward.
Name the 00 Victor, roger. There's traffic
forward
at 12
nose
o'clock and 7 miles south.
All right, we got
9,000 to Skyhawk.
13.
Fly heading of 280.
Got 8 minutes to go. Yeah, we're gonna be there pretty quick. This plane is fast.
Gonna bleed us off 100 feet altitude.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do
1103 Denver departure, radar contact.
We'll do a bit of turning just so you get a feel for with and without rudder. So just without making any rudder inputs, make like a 30-degree bank to the left, and then come back on course. So just with the aileron.
I'd like to get us into a level flight here, just so I got a trim.
Yep.
So it looks like I've got a trim.
Yep, you're good. You're perfect. Yep.
Okay. So now we're gonna do without rudder.
Yep.
30 degrees of bank.
And so what you'll notice is the nose kind of lags a bit.
Is this 45 and that's 30?
That's 30, and that's gonna be 35.
Okay.
So that's okay. And then rock back, and so the nose is kind of gonna lag a bit as you
go
ahead and turn it back. Yeah.
So now we want to do 30 degrees in the other direction.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. A little bit under 30 yet. But I'm gonna pull a little bit back on this, correct?
Yep. And then level out.
Track 340, flight in 170.
And now do the same with some rudder input and see if you notice the difference.
I'm gonna get us back down to 95.
Sure. I think I see their run. No, that's it.
American 2008 Denver departure, radar contact.
So now I will.
0 Victor, traffic no factor, resume navigation.
Notice how the nose responds to the rudder.
74 Alpha, squawk beat bar, change advisory frequencies approved.
Sky 9574 Alpha, squawk VFR, frequency approved.
Alright, go ahead and listen.
3013, remark. Density altitude 9,700.
Runway 1533 closing has been delayed to Monday, July 15th. Updates will be posted.
Now go ahead and pull the power back. We're going to start a slow descent. So about 500 feet per minute descent.
Meadow Lake Airport. Automated weather observation. 1615 Zulu weather. Wind 330 at 5. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 28 Celsius. Dew point -5. Altimeter 3013. Remark. Density altitude 9,700.
Runway 1533 closing has been delayed to Monday, July 15th. Updates will be posted.
So straight ahead is Colorado Springs International.
2444 Denver departure, radar contact.
The airport we're looking for is going to be off to the left.
Zulu, weather, wind 320 at 5, visibility 10, clear below 12,000, temperature 28 Celsius, dew point -5, altimeter 3013, remark, density altitude 9,700.
Runway 15.
Go ahead and descend a little more.
Has been delayed.
500 or more
Monday,
feet
July 15th.
per minute.
Are you talking play with throttle?
Leave the throttle and yeah, just
Nose down?
nose down.
Pick up a little speed.
Yep. All right, and we are 122.7 here.
Number 50 Lima, delete the altitude restriction, contact approach 126.1.
Okay, we're 10 nautical miles out, so I'm going to go ahead and make a radio call.
Meadowlink traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, 10 miles northeast, or northwest, bound for landing on 33 Meadowlink.
So the winds favor runway 33. It's a right pattern entry, so we're going to let's see, you want to come a little around more to your left, maybe 20 degrees to the left. I don't see the runway yet.
Neither do I.
The pattern altitude is 7,700. So, you know, if we get down to about 8,300, we'll stay there until we see the runway.
So we are completely due east of the Academy right now. So if that helps navigation to where we should be seen.
So let's see. I think it's off to our left. So go ahead and make a turn left about 30 degrees and start to level out here. Coming up on 5 miles. And level out here. And it's at about 1 o'clock is where I believe the runway is. We'll just stay at this altitude. When you get lower, it's kind of hard if you have less of an angle to see. But so we'll be landing kind of in a northwesterly direction.
So we're maintaining, it looks like 8.3 right now?
Yeah. So 7,700, the normal pattern altitude is about 1,000 feet AGL. In this case, it's 826 AGL, so we'll be a little closer to the ground than we would be back at Centennial.
Are catching a little bit of turbulence here, for sure.
Yeah.
Meadowlink traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, 5 northwest, bound for landing. We'll make a right pattern entry downwind for 33 Meadowlink.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take it.
All right, good. All right. You have control?
I have the controls. And then one more from you.
You have the controls.
Okay, there you go. Alright, so... Yeah, okay, I think I got it. Alright, didn't do too much of a... Technically I should have probably pulled the cow flaps closed during the cruise, but it was a short cruise. Yeah, okay, I got the runway in sight. You can see it kind of at 2 o'clock. It's the north-south runway.
Yep. Little guy.
1.5. Yeah, it's 6,000 by 60 feet wide, so it's a little smaller. It's still plenty of room. And we're going to enter in a right downwind. Are you familiar with traffic pattern?
Yep. So over here, boom, and then back up.
Yeah. So downwind is parallel.
Yep. Base is perpendicular.
Yep. Exactly.
And then final is obviously lined up. Where did you put my checklists?
Oh, right behind you.
Okay.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, right downwind 33 will be full stop Meadow Lake.
Okay. Alright, so we'll do black ups brakes. I got pressure, all lights are on, cow flaps are open. Oop. Gas is on both, undercarriage is down locked, mixture not going full rich. We're gonna leave it where it is. Seatbelt secure and set flaps. So I'm gonna slow us down even more.
Fuels to both.
Yep, fuels to both.
740, you ready to go?
Pre-landing checklist is complete, coming down 7700. I'm gonna go for 85, there's 85. 5 on the downwind, 75 on base, 65 final. And
740, are you ready to go?
Sure who they're talking to. Okay, and we fly.
We're done with our run-up down here if you want to wait for us, or do you want to come in behind us for your run-up?
We don't need a run-up. Is this Emily?
Yeah, they're lined up there. So yeah, there's a couple of them.
Meadow Lake traffic, Cessna 739 Charlie Lima, taxi in position and runway 133, departure to the east.
Prop 3 green.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, right downwind 33, midfield to beam, full stop, Meadow Lake.
Okay, once we get the beam, the numbers, we're going to pull the power back.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9 Charlie.
Start to descend.
33, departing north, Meadow Lake.
Alright, so he's taking off in front of us. I'm going to put in next notch of flaps.
10 degree flaps.
We're well within. 100 is our max flap speed, so we got no problems there. Looking for 75 as we go on base. And go ahead and turn clear right.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, turn your right base 33, full stop Meadow Lake.
Alright, whatever, 75. As we go through each leg of the pattern, mixture of prop 3 green, especially important when you have retractable. We don't have to worry about our 3 greens here. Alright, he's on the roll, the other guy's waiting. And we're looking for 65 on a short final, we're clear.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, turn your final 33, full stop Meadow Lake.
Okay.
Meadow Lake traffic,
More
740 holding short of 33, Meadow Lake.
Alright, a little fast. Mixture prop 3 green, aim point is the numbers, aiming for the numbers, go for 65. And we'll put in full flaps once the runway is assured.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9 Charlie, departing north, Meadow Lake.
Okay, winds are pretty much down the runway, full flaps. Carry power all the way until goes up. There we go. Nice. Okay. Just keep it on the center line. We'll exit here.
Meadow Lake traffic, 740 lining up and wait, 33 Meadow Lake. Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, clear 33 at Alpha 5, taxiing American Aviation, Meadow Lake.
Okay, we stop. Clear it is our next checklist. So, we're clear the runway. Carb heat, it's cold if we had it. Cowl flaps are open. Clear carb cowl config, flaps are up. Lights, we'll go back to just strobes.
This is strobes on, taxi on.
Yeah. Alright. Engine we got leaned out there, we're idling at about 1,000. And we'll go ahead and go off. Put a standby transponder. Let's get our windows open. Okay, our review taxi diagram. So this is pretty simple. We're going to be taxiing up this way. Hopefully my friends made it. And since this doesn't have a tower, you notice I've been making all my own position reports. So that's just what we'll do. So we make sure we're clear of anyone, and then we'll will taxi back. Incursion avoidance, and T is taxi slow. Okay.
Middle Lake traffic, Sky 9574 Alpha, taxiing Alpha to Middle Lake.
So there's this much smaller runway.
Traffic 740, right crosswind, 33 Middle Lake.
Very small runway we're going to cross that hardly gets used, but we want to make sure that I haven't heard anyone in the pattern say they're going to land there. I don't see anyone. Okay.
Middle Lake traffic, Skyline 9574 Alpha, crossing runway 8 and approaching Middle Lake.
It's, yeah, a little
Middle Lake traffic 740, right, downwind 133 Middle Lake.
So these friends who are meeting us here, Andy and I grew up in Zambia together since birth. So we go as far back as you can.
Oh, that's crazy.
Went to boarding school together all through, first through 12th grade.
In fact, the went from Africa to here is pretty crazy. But you're both in the same area.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've been making the most of getting together since we're so close. Finally. Okay, good. That should be the FBO where they are.
Middle Lake traffic 740, right base, 33 Middle Lake.
Kind of sucks that it's down this end, but the winds favor that runway, so it's long taxi. Okay, clear left, right.
Middle Lake traffic 740, final 33 Middle Lake.
This is a podunk place. Doesn't look like they're open.
Pulling wherever.
Alright, well, all that good. Okay, shutdown, checklist time is up. So turn off all electronics, we got avionics off.